I have been exposed to this movie all my life and I never even knew it. Have you ever seen this picture before? Guess where it's from? Yeah, Superbad. And I took the leisure of finally watching it due to a few friends of mine begging us to put it on since we haven't seen it. Thanks, Cole and Hewitt. I kind of owe you. So let me tell you about my newfound favorite teen comedy. Ladies and gentlemen, Superbad.
It's pi is the square root of -1.
And I just think that I don't ever need to cook tiramisu.
It's 10:33.
Calm down, Greg. It's soccer. It's soccer.
I don't have the technology or the steady hands to pull off a procedure like that. So, peace.
Where has this been all my life? Why was nobody gonna tell me how good this movie is? Okay, sorry, I'm lying. Truth is, I heard a lot about this movie and never paid attention to it. My first memory of this movie comes from a video I watched 2 or so years ago by a YouTuber called Cosmonaut Variety Hour. Now, I had no prior knowledge of this movie, however, this was one of my favorite YouTubers and still is, so I basically watch anything that this guy puts out, doesn't matter the topic. So I was delighted and surprised when I got to listen about this classic, and I sat there listening to him being like, yeah, I understand the magic of this movie and just how good it is. And then I never watched it. So it became a distant memory in the back of my mind, only really hearing snippets here or there about it or clips and jokes from the movie. But when I finally did watch it, thanks to a few friends, I loved it. This movie is hilarious. I feel like I laughed way too much at this. It was to the point where even minor stuff had me chuckling, like super minor stuff. And I actually can't remember the last time I laughed this hard, this many times. And the movie is consistently funny. The jokes are present throughout the entire movie, so there isn't really a dry part where it gets boring or anything. And the police, well, they might possibly be the best part about this movie. Like, I like them way too much, and they were honestly such a great addition to the movie. I mean, I sort of hate to say it, but they were iconic. One of the best parts of the movie. But in all honesty, as great as the cops were, the whole cast was that good as well. I mean, I can't really name a bad character or part of this movie. It all flows so well together, because it's one of those goofy stories where they all get separated and have to meet up, and it's great. It also drives a lot of the tension, which is always needed for a movie. Now, a quick non-spoiler recap of the movie, but it's basically about these friends who want to get laid at this end of the year party, so they end up trying to get booze, and well, it all sort of goes out of control from there. But even then, that's such a surface level summary, and to be honest, it's so much more than that. It sounds like one of those horny teenage movies, but it's really not. It's actually more akin to a coming of age film, in my opinion. Like, the relationships our main characters have throughout this movie feels oddly real. Like I said, not a bad character here. And while this movie does feel like a time capsule and a picture of the era, it still manages to stay so relevant. I mean, themes of trying to impress people, dumb decisions, friendships, people leaving for college, high school, I mean, they are all universal and pretty timeless stuff, which makes it feel real, or at least as real as a teen comedy can be. Like, this movie is magical and timeless. If I was able to connect to it 15 years after it was released, then I'm sure it will be here to stay for another 15. I love this movie. I haven't really seen a whole lot of them, so I haven't had much to compare it to, but this basically feels like the perfect one, you know? The perfect teen comedy. And I don't use that word loosely. When I say it, I really mean it. I mean, there were so many iconic scenes that had me like, wow, wait, that's where that's from? The amount of good jokes in here is phenomenal, and it just captures that awkwardness of the age so well. It's great. Now, I mentioned before the YouTuber Cosmonaut Variety Hour, and in his video he asked a question along the lines, does it still relate to younger audiences or the audiences of today like it did with him and his generation? And the answer to that is yes. And honestly, it just makes the movie that much better. This movie has become an instant favorite of mine and has become my go-to comedy for whenever I have people or friends over. So Superbad gets a 9.5 out of 10. This score is only after my first viewing, but I'm guessing it will probably go up to a 10 eventually, so I'll try to keep you all updated. But hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you have any comments of your own, make sure to leave them down below. Trust me, I read them. Also, check out Cosmonaut's channel. He's really good and one of the channels that first inspired me to do YouTube. But as always, stay awesome, TooAwesome, thanks for watching.